Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 56 of the Boonie Breakdown Podcast. The podcast where we sometimes cry, we always laugh, we might get a bit ratchet, but we're forever gonna break it down. This week, my guest is Tionah Lee, writer and producer for Hello and Hola Magazines. We have a talk about all things pop culture and what it's like for her meeting and interviewing celebs on the red carpet. And we even have the infamous NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys debate. So stay tuned for that conversation. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. There are only 5 more episodes left in season 3. Yes, only 5 more episodes. Season 3 is going to wrap up on Memorial Day, so that's May 28th. And I just wanted to let you guys know so it's no surprises. I'm going to be off the month of June, and season 4 is going to drop on Monday, July 2nd. So mark your calendars. It's just going to be like 4 weeks without your weekly dose of Boonie. But you can still get your dose if you're local or semi-local and you want to come to the Boonie Breakdown Live, which is happening Saturday, June 23rd in Baltimore, Maryland. I am so happy and thrilled to say that half the tickets are already gone, which is great because they've only been on sale for like 2 weeks. And I'm serious. When they're gone, they are gone. I can't make any way for you to attend. So it is best that you try to get your tickets as soon as possible. And also right now, if you are following me on Instagram, you should be at this point. If you're following me on Instagram, there's a contest right now to win a free ticket sponsored by the good folks at Parkworth and Kimball. So be sure to check them out. The instructions on how to win this free ticket are on the post on my Instagram page. So head on over there. The contest ends this Thursday, April 26, 2018. And it's only eligible to U.S. contestants only. We ain't paying for travel and shit. It's just a free ticket to come to the show. So if your ass is in L.A., that's all you get is that free $25 ticket. You can feel free to purchase airfare and come. But if you come that far, if someone came from L.A. to come to this show, I would buy you drinks all night. Okay? So that's my promise. But now let's get into my pick of the week. So this Saturday, I do mentoring with a group of young ladies. And this past Saturday, I totally cried one of my contacts out because the group of young ladies who are graduating seniors, I've had them in the program and have worked with them for the past 7 years. And they started when they were in 6th grade. And so my pick of the week is kind of giving back. And giving back can mean so many things because you can give back of your time, your talent, your money. It's so many ways that you can give back. And I really do think that each of us should make a bigger effort to give as much back as we can, or as much as our bodies can allow, our wallets can allow. But it was just such a fulfilling experience. This is my 3rd group of girls with this organization, which is through my sorority, that I've seen matriculate through the entire program. And I've watched them grow up from, such cute little girls to beautiful young women. And I'm just so proud of them. And I was so overwhelmed that I lost it. I cried. And, I don't cry often. This is now like becoming a trend. I've cried way too many times already in 2018. But this is my appeal to you guys to try to give back in any way that you can, especially with our youth. They're going through so many things that I feel like even my generation, I'm 33 years old, and some of the older generations, they're dealing with so much that we thankfully did not have to deal with. And they have access to so much information, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, and they don't have the tools to filter through like what they should retain. And so that is one of the reasons why I love to give back, is to say, you know what, baby girl, because I don't mentor young men, but know what, baby girl, like, you don't have to subscribe to this belief or whatever you see here. Like, that shit is fake, whatever. And so it's so fulfilling that I encourage each of you, even if you just write a check, because sometimes that's all you have. But it's so many great organizations out there who need the funding to help them reach their mission or their operational goals. But if you could find the time to mentor someone, it is so rewarding, and Boonie encourages you all to do it. And I'm probably going to cry again because we have our closing program in June. So that'll be my next time I cry because I was just so overwhelmed and I'm so proud. And it's nice to know that you made a difference in some young person's life. So get out there and do some more, y'all. Okay? Just grab and I don't even know because like everyone does the big organizations like Boys and Girls Clubs, then you have Girl Scouts, and you have Boy Scouts. Those are all great organizations to start with. But I'm sure in your local cities, there is some amazing nonprofit or startup group that's doing some work that could definitely use the funds, the talent, and the time of some of my amazing listeners. So I encourage you sometime later this year to fit in mentoring a young person. Okay? All right, guys. So next up, we have housekeeping. Episode 55. Now I'm about to cut y'all motherfuckers out because I am insulted that just because I did one whole episode dedicated to Beyonce and a blog post over at theboonieBreakdown.com, right? That y'all think I gave up my Navy card. Fuck y'all. No, I am still an admiral in Rihanna's Navy, but you have to give credit where credit is due. And Beychella was all that. And I thought my critique was fair. I said I love, Beyonce is bad. Can't take that from her. That performance was hot. But never, ever in y'all black ass lives or white ass lives or Hispanic ass lives question my love and allegiance to Robin Rihanna Fenty. Okay, so let's get that started. But I did do a blog post. Kenny and I did a blog post over on theboonieBreakdown.com where we ranked all of Beyonce's studio albums. Okay, so head on over and check that out. It was some great comments on that blog post for people who were agreed. Most of them agree with me more so than they agree with Kenny. But head on over there and check that out. Also, I'm giving you a heads up. Next week's episode 57, our guest is the eloquently ratchet Brian. Okay. So send in your questions now. You guys know he likes answering y'all questions. So if you have questions for Brian and Boonie, send those in. You can hit the email, theboonieBreakdown@gmail.com. You can head over to theboonieBreakdown.com. On any page, it says send a voicemail. You can send a voicemail. You can go to the contact page. You can DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on Twitter. You can send a message on Facebook. And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at The Boonie Breakdown. You can find me on Twitter, Boonie Breakdown. And when you're sharing the episode, always use the hashtags, The Boonie Breakdown or the hashtag PODIN, PODIN, because it's such a great tool for people to find me because word of mouth does better than any promotion that I can do. Also, don't forget to head on over to Apple Podcasts. You can leave a review there. And if you don't listen on Apple Podcasts, like I said, you can always go over to the Facebook page, and I welcome reviews on my Facebook page as well. So that's it, guys. I'm going to shut up, get into this interview with Tionah. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys, it's your girl Boonie, and with me today I have Tionah, who is an amazing journalist and writer over at Hello and Hola Magazines. So welcome to the podcast, Tionah.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I think it's so cute that it's called Hola. Do you speak Spanish or do they translate the articles for you?
So I work for the in English, so it's Hola in English. I work that platform, but the majority of the office does speak Spanish. So whenever we have stories, they'll just translate them for us, or I'll put it in Google Translate and hope for the best. My little Spanish 3 that I did in high school and college.
Look, I always say I should be ashamed of myself. I took Spanish from like 6th grade to 12th grade, and I should at least be conversational still. And nope.
I'm actually learning to understand more because they're so good. Like in my office, where if they're speaking Spanish, they'll translate it, and then I remember things. And I'm also trying to like listen to a little bit of more Spanish music just so I can pick up on it, because had I known I'd be at this point in my life, I definitely would have paid more attention.
Paid attention, right?
It pays to pay attention. You never know where your life is gonna
I know a couple people who are doing like Duolingo, the app and stuff, and they're saying like it helps so much. But I'm just like, with everything that I do already, do I even have the brain capacity to try to learn another language right now?
You would be surprised, especially because I feel like at this point I have more discipline and I know that's a focus of mine. But like you said, with everything that's going on, like if it's not coming naturally, then I think
Yeah, it's like, can I really don't like put time aside for this? I don't know, but I won't say never, but maybe I should try.
just give it a shot. I think I'm gonna do it. What app did you say it was?
It's like Duolingo. So
Cool.
like you can have it for like, I know somebody who's doing it right now for French and Mandarin.
Really?
So yeah, but they have like, I can't remember how many languages, but it's a lot that you can choose from. And it has like, it's like an app. And it looks really simple because it looks like she can do like little games and stuff. So it's not just like, Rosetta Stone, which I could never do.
Mm-mm.
And somebody told me too that they had like a podcast. Yeah, I've never checked out the Duolingo podcast, but somebody said that they had one, and that's helpful to listen to. Like you said, like listening to the music, it's almost the same concept. Like they'll say a few lines in whatever language, and then they do it in the translation.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I'm gonna have to check it out for real because
But yeah, it's like they made it like a game, and everybody likes to win, so
yeah,
it's kind of like, yeah. So that's a whole little digression there, but
come
I
on,
keep saying,
sponsorship.
right? I'm like, pay me no. But yeah, I keep saying I was gonna check it out, but I haven't. Maybe I will now. They do have a podcast, though. I just googled it right now. They actually do fascinating stories and easy to understand Spanish.
Yeah,
So there you go. Maybe you should get it.
I think I will. It seems, and I'll let you know how it's working for me.
Thanks. So normally when I record podcasts on Sundays, because it's a Sunday when we're recording this, I normally do them in the evening because I like to like lay in the bed. Like I don't have kids and I don't go to church, so I don't have like a need to like pop up on
Mhm.
a Sunday morning. So I thank you. I changed my schedule up because Tiana is going to see Justin Timberlake tonight.
I am going to jump out of my fucking skin. I cannot wait.
So I have to ask you though, did you like the last album?
Okay, so the last album grew on me. It will not be Future Sex Love Sounds is my least favorite Justin Timberlake album.
Really?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. Yes. And
Why? I need to know why.
okay, so
Like even less than the 2020 part 2?
yes. Me and
Wow.
me and 2020 have a special relationship.
I
Like
listened to that part 2 like 3 times and never again.
no, so Future Sex Love Sound, I just Sexy Back, as much as I love him, I have a list of songs that if I never hear again, I'll be fine.
I think
And
that's fair to put that song on that list.
yes, and the production was great, but nothing was really relatable on that album. And then coming off of Justified, I feel like as like a fan, it wasn't really it was like the part 2, like the sophomore album that we didn't really need. So,
I don't know.
but that could be just me because it's always an unpopular opinion. Always. Like whenever I say that.
Yeah.
Man of the Woods though, it's not the best, but
I
it's
couldn't even
actually
finish it.
growing on me. And it's super when I saw the trailer, like I'll admit, I was like, "What is this shit that he's about to give us? Like, Lord, don't let him come out here and embarrass himself, because everybody knows I be out here standing for him, and I'm gonna just have to try." But when I listened to it, the first time, I wasn't really paying attention to it, and then I actually went through the tracks. I was like, "Okay, this is pretty dope." I like it.
Ah.
There's
Maybe
a couple
I'll have to
songs.
go back and try it again. Like I
Don't
literally could not finish it.
don't listen to it cover to cover. Listen to it in
Well,
shuffle.
how else do you listen? Like
I
that's
listen
a sign of a bad album. I should be able to put an album on
and let
and
it
play
play.
it straight through.
Yeah. but I listened to it in random, like in shuffle, and then I went back and listened to it because my biggest thing, if it's not a concept album, you really don't have to listen to an album like that. But I do understand like albums flow. Like if you have put
Yeah.
something on and it flows, like that's how you know it's flawless.
Like you made a very well curated album, like Seat at the Table. I can listen to it randomly, but I like the order in which it
Oh
was done.
my yes, yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to question your JT fandom
Uh,
because I have said, like, in my opinion, I think each album he puts out gets worse and worse.
oh my god, no.
Like, I really love
That means
Justified. I love Future Sex Love Sounds. I like 2020 Part 1. And then Part 2 was like, womp. And
not.
this man in the woods, I'm like, ooh, I
it's
don't know.
it's not for everybody's palate, and that's how I know I'm such a fan because
Yeah,
he
you
has
are.
a song on it called "Young Man" dedicated to his son. Why my ass was crying? I don't have any children. I was like, he's so happy. He's so happy. His son, like, it's so. I'm really gonna like. I'm all about performances too. So tonight when I go to the concert, I'm going to have to see how he lines it up because 2020 was so amazing both parts because when I saw the show, I cried the entire 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh my God. Well, you are a super fan. I'm also the girl who thinks that Backstreet Boys is better than NSYNC. So
This is the end. This is the end. Can you tell me, are you still listening to Backstreet Boys?
I do. I do
Like
not listen to NSYNC.
their new stuff?
I have. It's not that I rock it, but I'll listen to it. But I definitely play their older stuff in my like.
Oh,
I'll be like, oh, let me listen to this song. I never do that with NSYNC's music.
let me tell you, I was the leader of the NSYNC movement, like in '98 when Backstreet was out, and then NSYNC came out, and it was a wrap for everybody. It was curtains for Hanson, it was curtains for Backstreet Boys. I was like, this is
And
it.
I get why people like NSYNC over Backstreet, but I will always ride for Backstreet Boys over them.
Would you go see them in Vegas? Because I
Oh
think I
fuck
want to.
yeah.
I'm like,
And I saw like someone I know went to the show and like I think that's one of the reasons why I always like Backstreet Boys over NSYNC
mhm,
was that they no one was really the star in Backstreet Boys. Like in NSYNC, it was the Justin JC show and the other three. And in Backstreet, they all could sing. And you knew they each took harmonies, they each took parts.
mhm.
NSYNC, I couldn't tell you what those other three sounded like to
Oh
save
my
my
god, what? I could
like I can't even
always
think of their names. Only one I can think of right now is Chris Kirkpatrick. Isn't that his name?
yes, Chris,
I don't even
Joey
know the other two.
Patel, Lance Bass. You forgot
Oh,
about
Lance, yeah, the gay
Lance
one. That lets you know how.
Bass. Oh
Yeah,
my god. Okay, so but the pop culture in me, I would live to go see Backstreet Boys, and I would probably stand. I can say
yeah.
I will go back. One of my favorite songs is "Hey Mr. DJ" from that favorite album. Like you
Okay.
can't tell me there's like that's like top tier pop song like
And
ever.
and the funny thing is, like, my favorite was in Backstreet wasn't even any of the ones that everyone else liked. Like Kevin was my favorite,
Oh, Kevin! You know, the other day
the
I
old
was
one.
thinking, I was like, I was texting my friend who loves Backstreet Boys. I was like, girl, you know, the first thing I woke up and Googled was why Kevin left Backstreet Boys. I couldn't remember if it was because he had the back issues, but that was
Yeah,
the man from Boys to Men who
that
left.
was Boys to Men.
Was hurting. But I was like, Kevin looked tall, like his back be hurting. So like, let me see if that was him. Then I googled the LA performance when he came out and surprised the
He came
audience.
back in 2012.
I
Yep,
was like, because Kevin knew he could not be out here trying to be solo. I think like
he
in his break,
couldn't.
him and his wife had a child. Like I was like,
Yeah, he took his little 5 years off and came right on back.
it came back. Oh my
But yeah,
god.
I loved them all. Like I loved AJ.
Oh,
Kevin was my favorite, but I loved AJ and Brian and Nick. Like Nick was like the loser in the group.
Nick was the
I even
Justin
loved Howie.
Timberlake.
Howie could sing. See, I just
So
named all of the Backstreet
I
Boys.
liked Howie. I loved how reckless AJ was. AJ was always my favorite, and he has that voice. Like AJ's voice was
AJ could blow.
sick.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of the Backstreet Boys could blow.
Remember when AJ went to rehab, like, and it was a
And
whole
people
big
were,
thing on
yeah, on like
TRL?
TRL.
I cried. Like I was like, this is so sad. Like, get him out. My mom was
I
like, he's in
remember.
trunk.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember. I do because they're all so much like they're older than what we think. Like I think
yeah.
AJ now is like 40. So that means Kevin has to be like almost 50
No,
because he
there's
was the oldest one. He was like 30 when they came out.
he
So
was
Kevin has to be like 46 or 47.
he's 46. You're so right. Oh
Yeah, I'm like,
my
he
god.
was the oldest. Yeah, like the Backstreet Boys are old. Because
There's
Nick Carter was the youngest.
he was the baby. And it's
Yeah.
so crazy how they
And
were
he's 38. He's still older than me. So,
they were Louis Pearlman's brainchild, like the what he wanted to bring out for boy bands. And
yeah,
then
like,
everyone that came out was a copy of it. And
and
I
they
don't
made
know.
a fucking killing.
NSYNC though, like they just always did it for me. Like I was just always amazed at them. Live from Madison Square Garden took me out of my body. And like,
Wow, you are a fan.
fan,
You
when I
are.
tell
Because
you,
here's my thing with NSYNC. I think it's also a personal thing is that I I always thought JC should have been the star.
oh yeah.
So
Until
I
they
just never forgave that,
never
he didn't
forget.
become as popular as Justin.
He had like he tried it like Some Girls Dance with Women and then the Drumline song. But
Yeah, but he just never
he
popped
just
off, which is crazy.
never. No. And he always had like JC was like he was the voice.
Yeah,
But
he's the one who could sing better than he's the best singer in NSYNC.
mm-hmm. Like
So
so, I don't know. It's just when I tell you Saturday mornings for me was taking the posters off of my wall and putting new posters up on the side of my room that I slept on because I had two beds was all Justin, floor to ceiling. And then on the other side was all NSYNC, floor to ceiling. And then behind my door, I had Chris Brown and Trey Songz. And then I had like a little section for basketball.
yeah, I don't
But
think I had any white boy posters up in my room
oh,
because I
I
was
had
still heavy on like the definitely what was it, Right On magazine and Word
yeah,
Up. I never
everybody would
bought
come in.
I
They
never
would
bought
come in
one
my
of the
room
white
and
ones.
I had an NSYNC blow up chair in the middle of my room,
Oh my god.
stationary. I had the marionette dolls up. I had a throw blanket. I had a pillow. Like
Yeah,
it was
I'm really gonna date
obsessive.
myself because I'm a little older than you, not much, but a little. Um, I had what is it? New Kids on the Block, a sleeping
Oh
bag.
yes!
So,
Better come on, new
and
kids
now
on the
that I
block.
think about it, like it was all of these black groups. They
Yes.
didn't get those merchandising deals the same as these white boys. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, because
Nope.
the other day, I think it was like 2 weeks ago on TV1, they did an unsung on the boys who I
Oh
fucking
my
loved.
god.
Those little
Yes.
African boys. Oh my god. And there it was like actually a nice unsung because it usually unsung is like they never made any money and had to sell their
And
masters and
then
now they're
someone
strung out on
died.
drugs.
And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it
I
was
was
actually like a triumphant story. Like it was saying like how they got so much creative control fast. They actually made a lot of money. They
mhm.
tried to go that like grown up route, but it didn't work for them. And so then that's when they got dropped and how they've like maintained their money since. But none of them are broke. They did move to Africa. But it's like, how come it was no boys sleeping bags? Because I
like,
definitely would have preferred
yeah,
that over New Kids on the Block.
right? And then, so let me tell you, this is where it gets crazy. So after NSYNC, faded out, the side of my room that I didn't sleep on was B5. Do you remember them? Diddy
Oh,
Blue?
that was definitely like I was way too old to be putting up posters of them, but I remember them.
Yes, obsessed. Like to the point where every time throughout their like their career, every time they came to Maryland, I was there, meet and
Oh
greet.
my God, B5. I thought you
Like,
would say B2K, but you said B5.
I guess B5, because B2K, I was still obsessed. That's like when Justin hit his solo stride, and I was trying to still hang on to an NSYNC, like NSYNC coming back. But no, then it became B5, and then it became okay. No, no
Yeah, I'm
more. I
like
have to take
B5.
off
I
my
was definitely in college, so I was not putting out posters of B5. Like I
obsessed.
remember them coming on. What's that? 106 in Park and stuff.
Yep, yep. And
Yeah.
now they're like, I follow them on Instagram, and I'm just like, no, no way, no
Are they
sir,
druggies? I feel
no.
like that's what happens to all these kid stars.
One of them is like super religious and married. Like the youngest one, super
Okay.
religious and married. The oldest one, I think he might. There's definitely something up with him. And then the ones in between, like they're still trying to make it happen. And I'm like, the time is over. Like,
See, now you guys can thank the celeb journalist Tionah for the B5 update that you didn't even know you needed in your life.
I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to give it to you. I like.
That is so like I think yeah, I don't know. Some people are probably like, who the fuck is B5? I'm gonna put a link to their Wikipedia page in the show notes. So you can click because some
They,
people are probably like, who is B5?
what is B5? No, they. And then when Diddy had his what was the movie he just came out with, his documentary about the, history of Bad Boy, they were all going off because they weren't really included in it. And so
Oh.
they were pissed. I was like, this is too much for me. Like,
I'm sure most of the people watching did not even know like they should have been included. So
yeah, I know. So it's like, what's the point? I stand for pop culture. It's just ridiculous. Like,
I see. So now, since we're on this thing, and you are a journalist at Hello Hola Magazine, and you get to cover celebs and red carpets, who's been like the most exciting celebrity you've ever met?
oh my God. So I was really surprised by Matthew McConaughey because
Ah,
I didn't think I was going to get to talk to him. But somehow with the hustle, I did. And he's a close talker. And I was just like, he's so sweet. And his wife was in the background getting her picture taken. And he answered all my questions. And I was just so surprised. I was like, because I mean, honestly, I'm just really starting out. So that was like earlier on, like maybe last year or the year before when I did that. So I was completely surprised because even though I work in the world, like I still consider them people, like I don't expect too much from them. I know like they may show up, they may not really be feeling this. They're just here, to promote their movie. All of us are there working. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all there working. So I thought it was going to be one of those moments where, he comes, he takes the picture, and he walks right in. Matthew McConaughey talked to all of us. And I was like, yes, that's my kind of
oh,
celebrity. I like it.
I
Took home
like
that
it.
Academy Award, and you still talk to
And that's
everybody.
the worst too. Like even when you just casually run into a celebrity
Mhm.
and they got a little stink attitude, it's like, look, I can see if people are like in your face and you try to eat and they reaching for your fork and shit trying to get an autograph. Like, okay, then people take it too far. But you
Yeah,
have to understand that that has to come with the territory of being a
it does.
celebrity.
Like, for example, one of my biggest upsets was when Justin Bieber told his fans that he was tired of taking pictures with them and canceling his meet and greets after those girls paid thousands of dollars.
And see,
These
I said
thousands.
this. I said this in the episode with Kenny. Beyonce and Jay Z out here charging that kind of money for these VIP tickets to this concert,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't even get to meet them. Like, what is wrong with these people?
I don't know, and they have so much money. It's so wild to
It's
me.
greedy at some point.
So yeah. Justin's tour. Oh, this was a real pricey one. I
Oh,
don't know why it was so expensive, but I was on Live Nation and I was like, hold up, I gotta pull more money out the concert fund because he's tripping.
Yeah, no, these concerts are just reaching a point now where it's like, okay, now, like, I think for me, it's like, unless I really, really love you, gone
Mhm.
are the days where you see them every time they come out on tour, unless you really love the person. Because,
I'm obsessed with concerts, so I'm about to see Beyonce for the fifth time, and I'm like, why, Tiana?
yeah, I'm
Like,
about to say, why Tiana too?
I have
You
such
know the
bad,
choreography, you know
I
what
have
it's gonna be.
exactly, and I have such bad concert FOMO that it's like I can't sit this one out.
That's
But
hilarious.
I'm not buying the seats that I got for Justin for Beyonce. Like,
Okay,
gone are those
that's your
days. You
trade.
have to
That's your
be,
trade off.
yeah, you have to be,
But for her, like, I'm good if I never saw her again until she did like a Vegas residency or something. Because
yeah,
at this point, it's the same exact show with different costumes and different audio. I mean, the visual shit in the back.
yeah. So I'm like, we'll see how this is because I was disappointed with Jay-Z's last concert,
Oh my
444.
god, I never need to see him again in life. Like,
I was disappointed with that. I was like, I'm not really feeling this one. It's not fun to me. But let
like
me tell you,
get
there
on
was people
the microphone, sir. I don't need to see him. And somebody
getting
I know said they saw him twice on 444. I'm
there.
like,
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't even like that album, so nope.
nope.
That wasn't
Pat,
even in my like. Nope, I'm not going to that shit. So.
at one point, the guy next to me was like, "You feeling this, right?" I was like,
And that's the thing too. Like, I think both of them have like such loyal fans that
Mhm.
I was saying that like I really do think this was for them to like push the limit to see what they can get away with. And I feel like their next concert is gonna be insane. Like the
After,
prices, yeah, after this.
yeah, but after everything that they went through, they knew they could not do a concert and give people like a joint tour. I knew that was coming. Like, I was like, okay, she's gonna do Coachella and she's gonna go on tour because she doesn't stop. That's not how she works. She's not gonna do just one concert and then
And I
not
kind
give the
of wish
people
she would.
anything.
Like,
Yeah, it would be okay if she did that.
yeah, like
It would be fine.
yeah,
But
just take a small break. Like no one's doing the type of shows that she does. Like no one can.
mhm.
So it's just like you don't have to do like you just don't have to. So I don't under
And I think that's why I don't mind too, because I know I'm gonna get a full show. I'm gonna get a show. So I'm just like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna get my life. I don't cry during Beyonce concerts. The only concerts I cry during are, I've cried during all of the Justin concerts I've been to, Demi Lovato and Nick Jonas, because I was just surprised. And I think that's it.
Okay, I'm like, have I cried? The only time I've cried to on a concert was when I went to Janet Jackson's like intimate number ones tour
Ooh.
right after MJ died and she did a little tribute to him and I like teared up.
Oh.
That
Yes.
was like I think that was it.
Oh my but that's rightfully so. Demi Lovato, I didn't cry like weeping tears like I cried at Justin, but I went to go see her in Nick Jonas's concert because y'all know I love the Jonas Brothers too. And I went to go see those two last summer. And she came out to Confident. Those horns went off.
And you
Everybody
cried.
around me started fainting. I said, yes,
For
bitch.
Demi
Like,
Lovato, I just started liking her with the Sorry Not Sorry song. Like,
she came out and fucked that stage up because I was there for Nick Jonas. Everybody around me was there for her. And she came out in that bodysuit, knee high, thigh high, boots, her short haircut on point. Those trumpets dropped, and she just stood there for about 35 seconds. All of us just, yes, fuck it up. And she gave a show. Like, Demi Lovato gives a show. I'm actually gonna go see her on April 2nd. So
wow, you are like a concert head. Like I literally I'm not even joking. Like that Sorry Not Sorry. Like I heard it one time and I had to like Shazam it. Like who is this?
have you listened to the whole album?
No.
That's that's one
I've
you'll
heard
be
good things about
pleasantly surprised about that one.
No, I did hear good things about it. And I keep saying that I am, but It's on my list. I have a few albums that I need to get to that I haven't.
You'll be like that one. You'll be like, oh shit.
And the thing with Spotify, like I feel like it's no rush really per se. Like it's on Spotify. Like I'll get to it. It's not going away.
I use Tidal. It's so crazy. But you know why I use Tidal? Because they have Prince's catalog.
Yeah. Well, everyone has Prince's catalog now.
Now, I know. But I was like, well.
Well, but the thing is, like, I just can't quit Spotify because I've been on Spotify for like almost 7 years. So yeah, it's just like all my playlists and stuff. And I've done Tidal. I think I did Tidal just to listen to Lemonade one more time because I honestly hadn't listened to the album in its entirety since it dropped. And I was like, do I really like this album without the visual? And so I went back and listened to it. So I had to give him another email to get to 30 days, whatever. But
yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. My sister gets Spotify for free, I believe, because she works for Starbucks. I was like, see, those are the kind of plugs I need in my life.
You know, everybody's giving that out right now. Like, you know, T-Mobile give you Netflix, AT&T give you HBO. I think Sprint gets Hulu.
Yeah, like, but Sprint needs to offer more. Like, like if I were to commit to that. But yeah, so I use Tidal because they got Prince's entire catalog, and then by then I had made, like you said, all my playlists, everything on there, all my liked albums. I was like, I just don't feel like going back to Spotify.
It's a huge commitment to leave because I even had Apple Music for a while. I was paying for both, and then I had to like, I'm like, you know, I really do like the playlist on the curated playlist on Apple Music, but then I realized like slowly over time I was just slowly just only using Spotify. So I was like, okay, let me just stop wasting my money.
I'm like, I was switching between like social media apps. I don't want to switch between my music apps. I had to find one, commit to it, and be like, all right, T, this is what you got. Like,
yeah, I was so sad when Spotify finally like raised my price because I had joined Spotify as soon as they came out. So at first, like I was only paying $5.99 a month, and then they raised it to like $7.99. And then sometime like last year, I just got the notice like you have to pay $9.99.
Y'all gotta stop tripping and give me this loyalty discount because
I've been with y'all since it was $5.99. But so yeah, but the thing is, like, it comes out your PayPal account. Like, I didn't even see the $4. And so, like, one day I looked and I was like, wait, what? Like, and then I saw the email, like, oh, well.
They had to get that good coin.
And I didn't even notice. So I couldn't even complain because it happened like 3 months ago. So, all right. So I do have a question about, you know, red carpets. Are they fun? Because they just look like really a lot of hustle and bustle.
That's exactly what it is. A lot of hustle. You gotta love what you do because sometimes you're on there for quite a few hours. There's really quick red carpets and then there are the long ones, and I've done both. I just learned to wear the right shoes, be prepared for if it's outside or inside. Because they will have you outside and the celebrity talent will be like, I'm gonna take this quick picture and then I'm gonna bypass everybody because it's -2 out here and I'm not here for it. So yeah, but it is a lot of hustle and bustle. You're just, like I said, you're there to work. And it's fun for me because of course I'm just all about that life and I love to see the behind the scenes. But you have to be ready for anything, like any kind of red carpet, because some of the wildest stuff will happen. I worked the red carpet, and Mariah Carey was the name, and like the big name, and we had to wait for her. And you have to be willing to wait for Mariah Carey so you can get your interview.
God bless you.
Yes, but I mean, those are the kind of things that you go through sometimes. But it's a job, and it's fun.
Well, that sounds fun. So who has been, you already said like Matthew McConaughey, who is like one person you just were starstruck?
I'm trying to think. Gabrielle Union.
Really?
And then it went from, but honestly, I'm always a little in awe and starstruck when I see them. But then I'm like, all right, T, like you can't be a fan right now. Like snap out of it. So then I talked to her. So it's like, but she was when I was like, oh my God, she's so pretty. She's so beautiful. And then when it was go time, I was like, let me get this interview. And then she walked away. I was like, oh, I just love her so much more.
And it's funny because
But
I've never been a big fan of hers, but I just finished her book and it was really good.
yeah, I need to read it actually.
It actually made me like I used to like hate her and then I softened because I liked her on Being Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like finished the book and I was like, oh my God, like I really, really, really liked her storytelling in the book.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is really great. And of course, like whenever anybody can get super personal and real like that, it's definitely worth the read. So I need to. My best friend got it for me for Christmas, and she still has it. And she was like, "I read your book." I was like, "Thank you." Like you may as well until like we get back together. And so I can't. When I come back home, I'm gonna get it from her, and I'm definitely gonna read it. But
No, I do highly recommend it. I read it in 3 sittings. It was a quick, fast, easy read.
yes, and I need something more to occupy my time on my commute now. So that definitely works.
No, I would definitely recommend that.
Cool. I'm gonna check it out. So it's the book and the app.
Yes. You have a to-do list from your appearance on the Boonie breakdown. So okay, I don't want you to name names to get in trouble, but who was like your worst interview?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could just give like a clue.
An actress.
Okay. Was she stank?
And yes. Yes. Stopped me in the middle of the interview.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, okay, sis. And I just had to remember, oh, T, you're working. So yeah, it was. I can tell you more about that one offline.
Yeah, we
But
can't
yeah,
have you losing your job.
I know, right? but you have some people. I've had a couple of instances where you catch somebody on the wrong day, or like I said, they're just there for their moment, make their appearance, and leave. And I guess that was one of those days. And I caught her, and I was just like, well, I don't like you anymore.
So what do you do like when you have an assignment and the celebrity is just not giving you what you need? Like what do you do? Like how do you finish your article or your write up?
You just have to go with what you have, because there's always a story in something. Whether it's just a clip that will, a little line that will add in a gallery about the event, or if we have to change the angle of it. But we always find some way. And then sometimes you have nights where it just doesn't work out for you. So you have to, figure out how you're going to do the story and cover it, like I said, without that little blurb. But it always works out
Gotcha.
in some way, shape, or form.
That's a very positive attitude to have because I'd be like, this bitch.
Yes. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, like really this happened? Why? Or you don't want to talk about this, but you were just talking about it to somebody else. Why me?
And so like
But
on a red carpet, can you give a sense of like how many media outlets might be on there?
yeah, so at
Because
the
that might
top,
be like why they're so like over it.
oh yeah,
Like if you're
because
50 out of 100, like
oh, then definitely. But so it depends on the carpet too. Sometimes I've been on really intimate carpets where it's only maybe 6 or 7 of us from print, and then they had the photographers at the top. There's always photographers, and they're always going to stop for them. And that's before they get to the interview. So sometimes I've seen celebs like look down the carpet and be like, whew, that's long. And they take their pictures. And then, of course, they have to be choosy with who they speak to. But the carpets range. I've seen it's been like 100 of us down to 3 of us.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's why, you got to wait. You got to be patient and always be ready. because you never know where you're going to get a group interview or where you have to hustle and maybe get somebody when they look like they're going in and, try to sweet talk them like, hey, would you like to talk to me real quick?
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
So what's next for you, like career wise? Like what do you want to do next?
Career wise, I definitely want to work on getting on air.
Okay.
Being a correspondent for an entertainment network, finally having my own YouTube channel. I need to get that together, get those things in order. But that's the next step, just being seen, and doing more one-on-one interviews versus, the red carpet. I just want to take, my career up a level. I still want to stay in entertainment reporting, but just, maybe do on air, get on the production side if I can, because that's always fun too. Setting up the shoots and doing the scripts for video. I don't know. I got big dreams.
No, you should dream big. Never not dream big. Like
Yeah, you have to.
you have to, and it's like it's amazing how or what you can manifest when you put your dreams out there in the universe. So
Yes,
I always say dream big.
of course, you have to, and always have that next step in mind and in plain sight.
Yeah, and sometimes like I don't know for me like sometimes I don't. Like I don't even have that next step, but I'm open to like what the universe is going to do. And
Yes, me too.
so I'm never closed off like and I've said on the show like even doing a live podcast show is terrifying to me, but the fact that it's terrifying is something I know I need to do it.
Yeah,
And
right.
so it's like, okay, I'm going this way, but that was never really in my plans to do. Um and so it's like as long as you for me it's like staying open even when you don't know what's next. Like the
Yeah,
universe will tell you.
always. The universe will point you in the right direction and sometimes surprise you because it has surprised me.
Oh, it's surprised me plenty of times. So I'm always but it's always I'm grateful and it's always fun when you can look back and be like, "Oh my god, I remember where I started and look at how far I am now." So,
Yeah, I have those moments now where I'm just like, I moved here for grad school only 3 years ago, and the amount of things that I've done. Because, like, sometimes, you have those moments where you're like, am I doing enough? Or, like, what do I have to show for my time? And then I'll just be like, wow, like, Tionah, you have accomplished, like, some really good things since
you
you've been here.
have. And it's like
So,
it's just like you often play that comparison game.
mhm.
And so it's easy to get caught up in that, but when you really do sit down and you go back and look at your journey, it's always nice to see you aren't in the same place that you started. So,
And everybody has a different journey. I've learned that too. Everybody's journey is different. So, you just have to look back and see, like, damn, I actually have accomplished this. Even if it's
mhm.
something little, like, at least you've accomplished something and you're not where you started. So, it can only go up from here.
I like it. That is true. All right, so now we're gonna do the part of the show where it's called the breakdown, and I'm gonna shoot out a word or maybe a phrase, and you have to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right. So the first word is gossip.
Girl. Gossip.
Of course, you would say the TV show. Cardi B.
Rolling Stone, which I need to read right now.
Writing.
Manifesting.
The celeb rumor mill.
Messy.
Red carpets.
Exciting.
Rihanna.
Bad.
Concerts.
My favorite thing ever.
And lastly, the single life.
A journey.
That's a word right there. A journey. Who child? I'm ready. And it's okay because I say this sometimes, like, I'm ready for the journey to end, but then when I think about what that means, I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know if I am ready for the."
Yeah. Mm. I'm like, some days I have, I'm like, this journey is enough. Like, slow it down or speed it up. But then I'm just like, let me just keep on going.
Yeah, when I start saying that out loud, I'm like, "Wait a minute. Wait,
Do
do
I
I
really
really mean that?" Yeah.
But then what is the end of it? You know what I'm saying? You never know what that end will be.
I don't know if I'm ready to find out either.
Right? That's a whole nother podcast.
That is another episode. Well, thank you for coming on, Tionah. And if you can share where people can find your writings and find you on social media, that would be great.
Yes, so you can find my writings and my daily, the daily things that I talk about, galleries and all that at Hola USA, so us.ola. You can go there, click in English. We have a really nice April edition featuring Meghan and Harry.
Oh,
My Instagram handle is Hello, it's Tati. My Twitter is Hola, it's Tati. No, they had nothing to do with my job. I had them before I got there.
I will vouch for that. That is true.
It was just how the universe worked for me. And when I first got on, me and this girl were beefing over the names, and I said, I'm just about to keep them because I'm not going to let you win this battle. And so I kept them, and I'm here, and they've been with me. So check it out.
So there you go. So follow Tionah on social media and be sure to check out her writings for Hola. And thanks for coming on, Tionah.
Thanks for having me. I had such a great time.
Thank you to Tionah for dropping in on the podcast. I gotta admit, I'm still not convinced that NSYNC is better than the Backstreet Boys. But be sure to follow her on social media to see what cool and interesting celebrities she's interviewing next. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, or any app that you listen to your favorite podcasts on. Don't forget to leave a review too. You just might hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. And I don't make these pretty images for nothing. So have a dope ass week. Thank you for listening. Until next time.